New Japan Pro Wrestling's Dominion card, which took place at Osaka last weekend on Saturday morning. But by God, the shows go. This was almost a perfect show.
Yeah, and that's pretty much the common trend we get from big New Japan shows, isn't it, nowadays?
Yeah. Absolutely, it seems to be the common thing going.
Yeah.
Now, so we'll get on to the matches anyway. But by the end of this, we have a bit of a way of analysing these matches more. We'll get to that at the end of our review here. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So we'll get on to the first match. El Desperado and Kenmaru from Suzuki Gun defending their IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team titles against Roppongi 3K. This was a good opener. I mean, like Roppongi 3K, they're still a very young team, even though they're former champions. But they seem to be learning and overcoming.
Mm-hmm.
But they're learning, and you almost overcame. In the end, it was the champions who retained through the usual stuff that they go through. So at the end, it was Show who looked for the shock arrow, but Desperado counters, ref bump, whiskey bottle shot from Kenmaru, and the champions retained. So it's a typical heel way of winning.
Yeah. I confess I missed this match actually. I missed the first two matches when I seen it in Low Blow, so I had to go back and watch it. But no, it was a good match. The crowd were into it. So the thing is, though, because Show and Yo, they seem to be doing very well as individuals. Mm-hmm.
Do you think they may split up?
No, because there's no one really else in the junior tag division.
They need people down there.
They need people, yeah.
So it makes more sense. So, Juice Robinson took on David Finlay. Juice Robinson and David Finlay, took on the team of Jay White and Yoshihashi. Now, this match is really just a setup for Juice Robinson to take on Jay White for the US title at the Cow Palace.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a good tag team match. The right results, because it sets up now Juice as the challenger.
Yeah.
The clothesline from White, Hashi made the save, a breakdown, then White took him out, but Juice hit the Pulp Fiction on White for the win. And that was really the focus of the match, and it pulled off well here.
Yeah, really enjoyable match. Like you said, sets up perfectly for the next one against
Juice Robinson.
Juice Robinson, which I think they'll have a really good match in America.
Yeah.
Kind of a little disappointing the US title wasn't defended at the Dominion show, but if it sets up for a good one at their G1 special in America, well then, I'll go.
I'm okay with them not defending all the titles, and it looks like they might be having more attention of the US title and going forwards. We might get onto that later on.
Mm-hmm. Well, like, to be fair, since Jay White won the title, I think it's kind of fallen off in terms of importance and limelight that the title's been given. You know?
Yeah, well, that's like comparing. Well, that's because Kenny Omega was probably former champion, so having someone of his stature compared to Jay White, who's a sort of a breakout star, if you like, compared to Kenny Omega, who's now the biggest star in New Japan.
Yeah.
So it's a huge difference. So,
did you see his Instagram post after Dominion?
No.
It was a picture with all the champions, because they were all in chaos, like Ospreay, Goto, Okada. I think Show and Yo, I think they had their titles as well, junior tag titles.
Right.
And it was brilliant because it was like, I'm sorry, Mr. Switchblade, we don't feel so good. And it was them fading off like Spider-Man did in, spoiler alert, Infinity War.
Oh, really?
It was so good. So good. It's not the only Infinity War reference we're going to make during this Dominion show. We'll go into it later on.
Okay, imagine so. So Minoru Suzuki, so Minoru Suzuki and Zack Sabre Jr. then took on Tomohiro Ishii and Toru Yano.
Mm-hmm.
This was good. It was highlighted obviously between Suzuki and Ishii's rivalry that's continuing on. So if there's ever opponents for Suzuki, it's Ishii, I think. Someone who can take all the crap that Suzuki serves in matches.
Oh yeah, and give it back.
Oh, and more.
And give it back, for sure.
They brawled post-match with their issues continuing, and
I did like the fact at one stage though, Yano, his usual thing when someone tries to run the ropes, he grabs their hair. He tried to grab Suzuki's hair, he had none. Suzuki just turns around and just sticks his tongue out. Nah.
Do you think that we've seen Suzuki and Sabre Jr. team up now, especially in England now? They're Rev Pro Tag Team Champions over there.
That's the titles they brought out, wasn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, do you think they should be a tag team that would compete for gold in New Japan?
Yeah, in the heavyweight division. Why not?
Yeah.
They
make a great
I
team.
think that'd be a great challenge for the Bucks.
absolutely. A very intimidating one as well.
The Bucks won.
We're gonna get to it anyway.
Yeah.
There's a fun mix of submissions, comedy, and hard-hitting action as always. It was in the end. It was Yana who escaped from a Cobra twist and removes the turnbuckle and then cuts Zack off with a European clinch for 2. The backslide follows, but then Zack blocks the low blow, literally with his legs.
Blocking the low blow with his legs and turning it into a submission.
Yeah.
And then Suzuki getting a Ishii in a submission afterwards at the same time as well for the double tap out. Brilliant.
Yeah.
And then the guys kept fighting during it as well.
Yeah, until the line.
Kind of at one stage looks like 2 L lads in a pub having an argument.
With the lines trying to separate them.
Yeah, with everyone else in the pub.
And they still
trying
get
to
killed as well, as
them.
always.
Yeah.
Now, Hiroki Goto defended his never openweight title against Michael Elgin and Shihi. Now, despite what we said about Michael Elgin at the start,
Mike is huge.
He's in shape, isn't he?
Oh,
not wearing his trunks anymore.
Go
just
for
to show
the
off.
Kurt Angle colour scheme as well, isn't he? With the red boots and the red, white, and blue.
He's Canadian.
I know, it's a bit weird though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. Here's something I want to say about Michael Elgin, because we've gone on record talking about his situation behind the scenes at the moment. The thing is, though, and this is talking in general about New Japan, do you think they really would care about all that stuff?
Obviously not.
Yeah.
Because I think it's far enough away from them that they won't get involved in it, because it didn't happen on Japanese soil, it happened on American soil.
I think that's the thing with a lot of Japanese promotions. Now, I'm not saying that as a bad thing, it's just what they do. Because
alleged stuff happened, sorry, I have to say
yeah, it's fine. Yeah, alleged stuff happened. It's what he's going through. We'll leave it at that. But the thing is as well, apparently I found out a study when I was studying in college. Do you know that Japan is the most masculine culture in the world?
Yeah, they're purrs. Yeah. So
maybe that's the culture.
They have to have separate carriages on trains just for women because they get groped so much on them.
So it's maybe for everyone. It's imagine it's for good reason as well. But like at the same time, in terms of how they book their wrestlers, all this behind the scenes stuff, which imagine in America would be be taken out of hand, especially with social media. Whereas in Japan, it's like, listen, it doesn't care, just have your match. Yeah. And it was a good match in the end. Though, like, it would have been a better idea to have.
Did you ask that question to Low Blows during the week about them getting a female division into New Japan?
They did. And they talked they talked about how in comparison to Low Blows, or not Low Blows, to OTT, because they figure they don't have to apologize for not having it because that's what they do. Yeah. As opposed to,
I think that goes in line with their culture as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, obviously, I answered that question. I asked that question because I would like to see a women's division in Japan. There's some good Japanese wrestlers out there, like from Stardom, and you could get the sense that maybe wrestlers like Kairi Sane and Io Shirai, they'd stay in Japan if it wasn't for WB taking them.
Yeah,
you
true.
Think of it that way, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But anyway, I digress. Like, it was a good match though. Could you argue the points for this match that it should have been Elgin versus Goto in a singles match? Or did Taichi
that was Taichi's way of coming into the division, so they put him in a title match for it. Also, I had a little problem with Taichi during the match.
What's that?
He kept trying to fix his pants throughout the whole thing.
Did
you know how he rips off his trousers?
Yeah.
They came loose at one point, and and it was pretty funny because I'm comparing this to a thing that was made in the Spandex Pantomime podcast that Justy does.
Yeah.
When he was talking to Sean Guinness, when he was saying Sean Guinness is the worst seller you'll ever get, because what he'll do is he'll sell the move, make sure his ponytail's alright, then he'll go back to selling the move.
And there's so many matches when by the time the match is over, his hair is all a mess.
Yeah. Taichi obviously was selling, but then at one point his trousers started to tear off, so he kept fixing them, then was selling, kept fixing them, then was selling. But that wasn't one of the biggest problems. He at one stage he threw, what's the girl's name in it? The one.
I have no idea. I forget her name. Abe something.
Let's say Abe. We'll just call her Abe anyway.
I'll tell you now.
But Abe was obviously ringside, and at one stage he put her into the ring to distract the ref while he could try and hit Elgin with the mic stand.
Yeah. It's
a triple threat. There's no disqualification. You can just hit him with the mic stand. You don't need to distract the ref. Why did he do that?
God only knows. Her name is Maiho Abe.
Maiho Abe.
Yeah.
Sorry, my Hoabe. I got your name wrong.
She's a lady who distracts.
Yes. You shouldn't have been needed to distract. It was a triple threat match.
But in a way, I probably get how this match was built because Taichi was in this match. It wasn't Goto who's pinned for the title. In the end, it was how did this match finish? It was a head kick to Goto, yeah, and Elgin cut him off and buckle bombed Taichi into Goto, and then Elgin bombs Taichi for the win to become new champion. So it sets up Elgin versus Goto 1-on-1 later on. Mm-hmm. And there could be really good matches now for Elgin as never openweight champion now, so I look forward to seeing what that could be in. So especially in the shape he's in, jeez, Junior Mac. Yeah,
exactly. Sure, matches against Goto, maybe Suzuki and stuff could be on the way as well.
Who knows? Yeah. Now, Evil and Sonata defended their IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team titles.
Retained? Are you watching the same show as me?
No, I got my mixed up. It was Evil Sonata defending their IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team titles against the Young Bucks. Now, the Young Bucks have won their last three at Dominion, and will look to make it 4 and win their first IWGP Heavyweight Tag titles. I still don't know if there's another tag team ever who have won both Junior Heavyweight and Heavyweight Tag Team titles.
I don't know either.
Neither do I. Yeah. It was a great match though. Really good layouts and execution from all four men. And it had a good dramatic home stretch as well. So at one stage was going, it could have gone either way. For this match,
was fantastic, and the selling by the Bucks, especially with obviously
it was Nick's leg this time.
Nick's foot and Matt's back.
Yeah,
both brilliant. And like at some stage when they were trying to do the indie taker and stuff like that, he couldn't do the springboard onto the ropes because his foot was so bad and everything. And there was times where Matt couldn't do certain moves because it would hurt his back too much.
Yeah,
really good. I hope these continue for a program because like these matches would be fantastic.
Do you think now, because of their title victory, that there's an argument for Young Bucks being one of the best tag teams of all time?
I think the fact that they had won more junior tag team titles than anyone else put them in that conversation anyway.
But also consider the fact that like a lot of fans would probably label them as only spot monkeys. Well, they're clearly not anymore. I feel they're becoming more complete performers than ever now, especially with their selling when they actually can sell. Here's Matt Jackson, who's been selling his back since Wrestle Kingdom, and now here's Nick now with his foot now, and was clearly unable to finish the job straight away. Like you know, that takes a complete performance.
Smarts as well.
Exactly. Like you know, it was a fantastic, and it brings new life to the tag team division now in Japan.
Yeah.
Like you know, not like because you know you felt even though there's teams there, what's going on? You know, sort of way. So it's interesting stuff ahead. But in the end, it was a spear by Matt. It broke down, and Matt saved Nick, super kicks the champions, and then more bang for your buck follows on Sonata, and then new champions. That was that.
Yep.
Then Matt,
great match, great selling, loved all of it.
Matt after the match, then don't know if you heard this yourself, but he hired Don Callis for All In post match.
Yeah. So and it's confirmed that it's going to be streamed as well.
So that pretty much almost confirms it's going to be streamed. So
Kota Ibushi actually was announced today for All In too.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense, I suppose. Yeah. So now the 6-man tag team match between Rey Mysterio, Jushin Liger, and Hiroshi Tanahashi against the Bullet Club team of Cody, Marty Scurll, and Hangman Page. This is a good match. Like it was like the Bullet Club picking up a win against the Legends, if you like. So
yeah.
So everyone looks good and they all got their time to shine. Ray looks really good in particular. Yeah. I love this mask, by the way.
Ray's mask, makeup combo was class.
It was, yeah. A bit of a Pentagon paint version. He doesn't use much paints.
He doesn't. Doesn't use it. He normally just sticks to the mask and then that's it.
Yeah.
But no, I'm all for that. That was class. I want to see him have a singles match. Probably against someone like Marty.
I was just going to say that.
Marty.
Yeah, I'd like to see him against Marty. That rivalry had something starting at Strong Style Evolved.
Yeah.
When he took his mask.
Marty's going into the mold of like legend killer at the moment. Like he's going after Liger and Tanahashi beforehand, and then obviously Rey Mysterio's had to join in the fold too. Yeah. So yeah.
See what happens. Like in the end, it was Ray who hit a bunch of 619s and get dives to the floor. Liger hit the top rope, Harana on Cody, but then hits the crossroads for the win.
Yeah.
Now, Will Ospreay versus Hiromu Takahashi for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. This was a fantastic match, and they teased going wild very early on as well until it settled to a slower pace. So, and then it really picked up as he headed down the stretch. So it's kind of it's one of those matches where it's that aggressive streak at the start, and then it slows down until it picks up. It's like a wave match, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
The end of a wave going right back up to the start of the wave.
Yeah.
And it was smart as well because it told the story, because here's Takahashi, he's focusing on the injured neck. He was focusing on the injured neck of Ospreay. He was heavily bandaged before the match, and it's become an ongoing going story. So again, it's selling like that and focus and work that pays off so well in this. Yeah, it's locked in until the finish.
It was interesting because before the match, Ospreay sent out a tweet saying saying to Tanahashi, look, let's leave everything out there, let's make this the main event. And they did. They threw everything out there. I think at one point I even saw the kitchen sink. Everything was left out there for that match. Oh. Obviously the spot that everyone remembers is the one on the ramp.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Even like Ospreay at one stage using the C word in the corner against against Tanahashi. I was like, oh yeah, this is definitely done, not WWE.
Not even close. And this is a match that was very much hyped. Like, this is probably as good as a cruiserweight a junior heavyweight title match they can have in New Japan.
Yeah,
and it delivered. And Takahashi's back on top. And this is very big in Japan because he's been the guy that a lot of people, because when he lost the title, all the fans loved him so much, especially when he showed his humorous side with Daryl.
Yeah,
and now he's back there. So it'd be interesting to see where. Well, first of all, we'll be interested to see what's with Ospreay next, because will he slow down now to recuperate from his neck, similar to...
Not too sure. We'll see what happens. He'll obviously be involved in the America show, I'm guessing.
Oh, I imagine so, yeah.
But if he does anything out beforehand, maybe a few indie bookings or stuff like that, I don't know.
I'm more keen to see what's next for Takahashi now as champion. We know obviously he's going to be against El Desperado next,
yeah.
But by God, I want to see him and Dragon Lee for the title. That's a match I'll never get sick of. Ever. It's an Owen Zayn match. You'll never get sick of it.
Okay. I've never seen it, so I can't say.
You've never seen
No.
Oh my God almighty, had such amazing matches last year. There's this finisher that he does. I don't know how he does. He has a power bomb. He holds the neck and he slams him that way behind him into like a suplex.
Never seen a Dragon Lee Takahashi.
They definitely wrestled each other at they wrestled each other at the Best of Super Juniors. They did. Look it up. It's definitely on the Best of Super Juniors. I don't know which one. I'll let you know after the show, but it's definitely worth watching. Now, Chris Jericho versus Tetsuya Naito for the IWGP Intercontinental Championship. Very good match. A very violent pre-match brawl.
Yeah.
Which set the tone very well. Very smart. Because they took advantage of some smoke and mirrors, maybe, like before the match. Not that's a bad thing.
Jericho going for the whole Clockwork Orange style look.
I like it.
Yeah.
No, I think at the time I was thinking he's being a desperado. He's being a Ingornable here, because I think that's part of the makeup of the Desperados, or not the Desperados, the Ingornables, who wore the fedoras and the makeup like that. So,
okay,
I think that's where it's from anyway. So, it was a very different match from anything else in the show, which was to their advantage as well. And that's, I think, what plays to Jericho's strengths now, because he can really brings such entertainment to that match.
Yeah.
And almost like a WWE style, but it works so well. Like when he took the camera and flipped off Naito in front of it, it's just stuff like that.
Yeah, I thought under the circumstances it was a fantastic match. Yeah. Because you got to look at it in terms of the place on the card as well, because they couldn't have like this classic near fall after near fall after near fall doing like any move possible, because before the match was Ospreay Hiromu, and then obviously after the match was going to be Omega and Okada.
Yeah.
So they had to do something different, and they couldn't compete with those two matches on a wrestling basis, so they had to change it up. And I think turning into it like pretty much for the whole thing like a brawl, was the best thing that could have happened.
It's very clever booking.
Yeah, it goes along with Jericho's character in New Japan as well, because he just wants to be the alpha. He just wants to beat you down, so he will be number one. And it's and the crowd turning on Naito as well during. I think that's what they want as well, because I think they are signaling to turn Naito into a heel again, because I think they want him to be the top heel in the company, so he can be the main challenger for Omega.
Only makes sense.
Eventually, so Omega will be the top face, and he'll be the top.
And he's so
heel
much
in
better
the
as heel as Naito as well.
Yeah.
I mean, the reason he's gone face at the moment is because he's so admired right now. He's like the anti-hero, similar to a Steve Austin. Not the same character, but very similar in the way that he's rebelling against the establishment, which is sort of what Steve Austin is. Naito's doing it in a sort of different way with the LIJ.
Yeah. Even like the random points when he was spitting and stuff like that, and not acknowledging the crowd and everything. I think that was it.
Yeah,
that was the point where he was starting to turn.
It was the end when they continued to trade. Jericho took control and Naito countered the moonsault and hit the Gloria. Tassanio was countered, ref bump, low blow, but Jericho, and then the code breaker finished it in a very surprise finish.
Yeah, I don't think anyone predicted that.
No one expected that.
But the fact that Jericho's Intercontinental Champion, and that means he's staying in New Japan, so that's a good thing.
It is.
Even though he did confirm that he will not be taking part in the G1 special.
Yeah.
Because that's in America and he doesn't want to piss off Daddy Vince.
Which I can understand.
I can understand. I can, yeah.
It's also the same reason he won't be doing All In then.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's only working in New Japan though. But do you think that could put the IC title in ice then?
No.
No?
I don't think so. I think he'll be just there to do more shows. No. Obviously, he won't be defending it as much as previous people defended the IC title.
So he won't be doing it. He won't be doing a Brock only appearing when he sees fit.
I doubt that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I doubt that.
Yeah, like I like the potential. Like at the end of the match, though, it was Jericho laid out Naito again with the belt. Then got a ladder belt and started whipping Naito with it until Evil came out and made the save. Do you
Evil
think
to be the next person to challenge, maybe?
Wouldn't be mad at that. Yeah. Would not be mad at that. And finally, the main event: Kazuchika Okada versus Kenny Omega, IWGP Heavyweight Championship, 2 out of 3 falls with no time limits.
7-star match.
This match is this match was 69 minutes 30 seconds.
Yeah, and let's just start off with the video package at the start.
Yes, fantastic,
unbelievable. And when I saw that video package, I thought back to the podcast that Kenny Omega did with Jericho after Wrestle Kingdom,
right?
Where Kenny Omega talked about doing a video package with New Japan to set up for this match, but they never got around to doing it because they just let time get by them, and he was very pissed off about it. Showing this showed how much went into this. This played into this and making it the perfect match. Him walking through all in black, him then having pains because of what's happened in the past, then seeing from his yin to his yang, seeing Kota Ibushi there, and then seeing the playbacks of them getting back together, him all in white as well, and saying like, are you ready now? Because you're going to you're finally ready. What did it cost? And then Kenny just goes, everything. And that line with the throwback to the Avengers Infinity War, which have you seen yet, by the way?
I haven't.
You haven't?
No, I'm okay with spoilers because I'm not. I haven't seen any of the movies in full.
That is a brilliant throwback to Thanos in Avengers Infinity War,
right? When
he does what he does. But look, it's been so long at this stage.
Just tell me.
Spoiler alert: Thanos kills everyone. Okay? This, when he gets the gauntlet and clicks his fingers, he kills not everyone. He kills half the population, because that's what it does. He kills half the population
of the world, and then
he goes into this in what is believed to be the Soul Stone itself. He goes into the Soul Stone itself for a moment, and he sees his daughter Gamora there, who he sacrificed to get the Soul Stone in the first place. It's the one thing that he loved in this universe more than anything else. And then child Gamora says to him, he just goes, so did you do it? Yes. What was it? What did it cost? Everything. And that played into this match, because this match was unbelievable. For an hour long, like I've said this before when I've rated matches.
Yeah.
I go by how good a match is by how little time I spend on my phone.
It's a good way of putting that, actually.
I didn't spend any time on my phone.
Me either.
While watching this match. apart from the brief time to take notes of what had happened, that was the only time. I was so invested in this match.
Yeah.
And these two guys put me invested in this match for so long. To have half an hour go by and only have one fall as well.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a finisher, it was a roll-up as well, which was a surprising thing too. A roll-up after Kenny attempted the one-winged angel.
Yeah.
Which they continued to protect in this match fantastically well.
Very well.
And they went through the whole narrative like Okada's never kicked out of the one-winged angel, and they continued that as well. I think at one point he did hit one and he couldn't get the pin because Okada just rolled out of the ring.
That's it.
But the emotion in this match as well, and I thought it was perfect that they had the throwback, they had the little Avengers style video at the start, because that Avengers movie was a very emotional movie, because anyone like myself, I've invested like 10 years watching those Marvel films as well. Yeah. And then seeing this happen at the end, you can't help but feel emotional. You can't help but like well up a little bit.
Absolutely. No,
after this match, I had the exact same feelings when Kenny won.
You're so happy that Kenny won.
So happy that Kenny has finally done it. Like, you become so emotional that you've invested like over a year into this, with the trials and tribulations that Kenny has gone through, from losing the matches against Okada, coming so close to the first one that he just
wondering
lost.
If he was even good enough to beat Okada.
Losing the Bucks, having everyone in the Bullet Club against him, reigniting an old tag team with Kota Ibushi, then getting the Young Bucks back again after, and like when the Young Bucks came back and then they hugged, and just that broke.
That was a moment,
because everything comes back into your head of what that has gone through with these four people.
Yeah.
Over the last year, and it just breaks you, and you just nothing. I can't see anything coming close to that in terms of build and execution ever. I don't think anything can ever come close to that.
I'll be honest with you, I had my fears going into this match, because it was obvious going in that it had to be over an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And there was this fear would it go 90 minutes, but I was so pleased that it was just such an amazing match that lived up to the reputation and quality of all the other previous matches.
Yeah.
They added elements to all the previous matches as well.
Yeah.
And bringing in another absolute classic. The pacing was perfect. It started off so well.
The amount of throwbacks they gave as well.
And how well they knew each other, and how well they knew each other so well from their previous matches as well.
Yeah, the throwbacks when Kenny gave a one-winged angel to no, was it that point? No, it wasn't. It was 2 points. One of the two very main like throwbacks that I noticed,
right,
and I thought were quite was quite significant. Was first of all Okada giving Kenny the Rainmaker.
Right.
Kenny collapsing, and then Okada crawling to try and make the cover. The same way Okada tried to crawl at the last Dominion show when time gave up. He couldn't make the pin in time.
Yeah.
This time he did make the pin, and Kenny kicked out with two. And then it was another Rainmaker later on in the match when I think it was by the third fall, when he tries to give him, but he's so exhausted he cut nothing behind it. He hit Kenny, and Okada fell to the ground because he was so tired. With the throwback to that same Dominion show, when Okada tried to hit Kenny with the Rainmaker, but Kenny was so exhausted that he just collapsed before Okada connected with him.
Yeah, that's it. I mean,
all these throwbacks to previous matches.
This match is just an example of how beautiful pro wrestling can be. It really is. It was done perfectly right.
But the beauty...
I don't think there's anyone who watched that match who wasn't invested in it.
The beauty of long-term booking as well. When long-term booking can be just done so right.
It's just a special moment for Kenny to win the title, and a beautiful way to Okada to end it. He's probably going to go down as the greatest New Japan Pro Wrestling champion there's ever been. Yeah. After his reign. Yeah. And such a beautiful way to end it, like so. It ended in the end though with after one fall each, it was like it was a one-winged angel, but after 50 minutes in, And by the end, then it was almost like a Rocky 2 moment when Okada was rocked, and then he tried to drag himself up by the ropes. Omega was up, V-trigger, 1 win angel connects and we have a new champion, and I was gone by then. Yeah. And in the end, obviously, post-match, the Bucks arrive as Omega sits on the fallen Okada. They celebrate with Ibushi, and they all embrace. That was a moment. Yeah. That was a moment. And even the speech at the end they made, where he says he's accomplished a lot and he's finally won the title, and this match has made him see the future of wrestling. That's why he'll stay here and take the next step.
Yeah.
I mean, this match is... I mean, his rivalry with Okada has changed wrestling.
And that got me thinking as well.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, the beauty of long-term booking. If Okada and Omega were in WWE and they had this rivalry, they'd never have matches like this.
Under no circumstances.
They would never have the build they had like this. They would never have the rivalry like this. The booking would have been ended after 3 matches in a pay-per-view. Within 4 or 5 weeks, their feud would have been over. And people are always saying, like, get Kenny to WWE. You want to see Kenny in WWE. You want to see the Bucks in WWE. No, you don't.
No, you don't.
You really don't want to see
them.
You want to see them
to go there.
Stay in Japan.
Or stay in indie wrestling. Never mind Japan. Indie wrestling.
Yeah. Stay in Japan, stay in New Ring of Honor, stay doing indie shows, because that is where they can do their best work.
Under 100%.
Yeah.
The speech ended when he said they make their own rules with his friends and lovers by his side. They can do anything. I'm tired and almost died. Goodbye and good night. Cody then almost sold the moment, walking halfway down the amp and then left.
Did you watch the Being the Elite episode?
I did.
And the fact that I thought was the important point as well, because I don't know if Cody was trying to ruin it. Because Cody, obviously, Hangman stopped him at one point during the show and says, "What fall do you want me to interrupt on, Cody?" And Cody just goes, "No, it's Kenny's night." And I think that him going down there was him to try to bury the hatchet, to sort of say, "I'm sorry to Kenny."
But there's still so much heat on him.
But he just can't do it yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that was Cody going to try and ruin anything. I think that was Cody realising the fault of his ways and trying to mend things.
Absolutely. So overall, excellent show. Really good undercard, setting up for future rivalries, as we said.
And WWE's response is Money in the Bank this weekend. Well done. Best of luck, lads.
Well, yeah, good luck. No, their response is going to be NXT or Gargano and Ciampa.
No, that's Triple H's response.
Triple H's response.
Yeah.
But of course, so that's our overall rating, or that's our overall perspective. But you yourself now,
I
have a different way of viewing these.
Yeah, obviously the ratings came out during the week.
Yeah.
And we all are familiar with the Dave Meltzer star scale, or whatever we call it. But I thought it was time to make up our own scale.
Okay. Here we go.
Forget those Meltzer stars.
Meltzer stars.
You want Daragh Maher's bars?
Mars bars.
Fuck Uncle Dave stars.
Meltzer stars.
It's all about Daragh Maher's bars.
Mars bars. We just did a very serious review. I can't take it seriously anymore. Can you please explain to listeners? Can you explain?
I can say this because I record it myself. Like we
recorded
it ourselves. That
sting
thing is so bad. It's so good. It's so good.
Oh. No, if we can be serious for a moment, it's probably impossible.
How can you be serious after that?
I don't know. Okay, so can we please explain why it was so bad, but God, and why we had to do that? That's such a bad spike. We're gonna keep it.
We are never changing that spike ever.
But anyway, please, before I play it again, I'm not playing it again.
No, we're going out on it.
Oh no,
we're gonna go after we finish this segment. We're going out. Okay, so
yes.
I came up with this idea. I was actually walking to training on Tuesday.
Okay.
Right? And I thought of this idea, and I texted you about it, and you were all for it straight away, which was brilliant. And I love the fact. I love when we're like, we don't even need to like work things out. We know straight away. It's like, yes, we're gonna do this.
It's because we embrace each other's ideas.
But Dave Meltzer obviously has a star rating, so you've got Dave Meltzer stars, but we don't want to go by Dave Meltzer stars, so let's go by Daragh Maher's bars.
Okay.
So instead of stars, I'm going to give out Maher's bars.
Okay, so how will this work? We go through each match again, and then we'll just give you a rating and your opinion once again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we'll go right from the start again. So you didn't see the junior
I
tag
did.
team
I
match?
rewatched it. Yeah.
Okay, El Desperado and Kmaro against Republic 3K.
Good opening. It is a little struggle at the moment because there's not many teams in the junior heavyweight tag division, so like it could be a fact that you might see this match more often than not. I'm going to give it 2.5 Mars bars out of 5.
Okay.
It wasn't a bad match, but it was a good opening. Heel team wins through heel team tactics, but they just need to get more people in the junior tag division.
So 2.5 is like
it's 2.5 and a 5.
So that's like what are those Mars bars you get double bars for?
Two regular Mars bars and a Mars mini.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
What about those ones you get 2 bars with us?
What ones you get 2 bars with?
You get for Snickers as well. It's like you get 2 Mars bars in one packet.
That's like the giant one.
No. There's a giant one, but then there's a packet where you get 2 in the same packet.
Yeah, they're like that. They're the giant ones.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. We'll stick with regulars and minis, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Juice Robinson and David Finlay against Jay White and Yoshihashi.
Yeah, I'm going to give this 3 Mars bars.
Right.
Out of 5 because it sets up for their G1 special in America for the United States Championship title defense between Juice Robinson and Switchblade. I'm not too sold on Jay White's character Switchblade at the moment. I'm still sort of getting used to it, but Juice Robinson is just money. And I love Juice, so that's why I'm giving it 3.
Minoru Suzuki and Zack Sabre Jr. against Tomohiro Ishii and Toriano.
Anytime you're in the ring with Toriano is brilliant.
Of course.
Ishii's always like pretty much, he goes by his name, the Bulldog. Fantastic.
Absolutely.
Suzuki now in his older age and his run now, he's adding more comedy into his wrestling too, which like obviously like I mentioned during the review with Yano trying to pull his hair and he doesn't have any hair to pull, so he just sticks his tongue out and starts laughing at him. And then obviously you got Zack Sabre Jr. who can just put a submission out of nowhere, which we saw at the finish. I'm going to give that I'm going to go with 3.5.
Okay.
3.5 Mars bars out of 5. Really good tag team. I would love to see Suzuki and Sabre Jr. now go forward a little more to have maybe a match against the new heavyweight tag team champions. But we'll see what happens. I think we're going to see more of Ishii and Suzuki have a rivalry more afterwards.
Hiroki Goto and Michael Elgin. Hiroki Goto versus Michael Elgin versus Taichi never openweight title. I'm
giving this 3 Mars bars out of 5.
All right.
Good match, I know. Good for Taichi now to be in the heavyweight division as well. Just I got really ticked off with him constantly fixing his trousers.
That takes away 2 Mars bars.
I think it does. It takes away 2 Mars bars, and the fact that he got, what was her name again?
Maho Abe.
He got Maho Abe involved in a match.
He always does that though.
Yes, but in singles matches where there's disqualification involved, there was no disqualification in this. So he used her so he could hit Michael Elgin with the stand. So there was no need for that. That's why it's losing another. It's partly why it's losing 2 Mars bars because of that. Finish was good. I love the turnbuckle bomb into Goto and then the Elgin powerbomb to finish.
Okay.
And Elgin looks class at the moment too.
He does.
But it's still going to be 3 Mars bars.
Evil and Sonata versus the Young Bucks, IWGP heavyweight titles.
Yeah, Bucks. Fantastic start in the heavyweight division.
Yeah.
They have fought for the tag team titles before in the heavyweight division, but it was against the Briscoes in a Ring of Honor show. Bucks, fantastic. Evil and Sonata, fantastic. I hope to see this more again. I'm giving this 3.5 out of 5. Just because it just wasn't long enough.
Okay.
Yeah, I would like to see a longer match.
Give him more time, okay.
But that was only because of the main event, I think. A lot of matches were cut down.
That's fair. Rey Mysterio, Jushin Liger, and Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Cody, Marty Scurll, and Hangman Page.
Yeah, this one is going to be 3 as well.
Okay.
3 Mars bars as well, because I wanted to see Ray in a singles match. His New Japan debut. I wanted to see him in a singles match. I didn't get to see enough of Ray in this match. Obviously, Cody, Hangman, Marty, Tanahashi, Liger, and of course Mysterio. 6 great competitors. It was too much of a gimmick match at times as well. I would have liked to have seen some better spots, a better flowing match. So I just think it's only worth the 3 stars.
Will Ospreay versus Hiromu Takahashi for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title.
4 Mars bars.
Only 4?
4 Mars bars. I'm giving this match.
What's missing?
Nothing. I would have been a 5 star. 5 star?
Let me guess, 'cause of
no
time.
stars. 5 Mars bar.
Let me guess, because
of the main event.
Okay, because of the lack of time.
Lack of time. I think that I think this match wasn't as good as the Fatal 4-Way at Wrestle Kingdom.
Oh, of course. Well, okay.
But that was because there was 2 other people involved as well, and I don't want to I don't like the fact I'm taking a Mars bar off them just because there's 2 people missing from the match. It was still a great match. Right result.
100%.
Timing wise, yes, is an issue too.
Okay. Chris Jericho versus Tetsuya Naito, IWGP Intercontinental title.
Also 4 Mars bars.
Okay.
It's the same in terms with the junior heavyweight match, but for different reasons.
Right.
Jericho and Naito were brilliant in the way they went along with this match. Like I said, that they had to do a different type of match because of the match that was on before and the match that was going to be after. Those 2 matches were going to be pure wrestling skill matches that were going to be fantastic. So they had to do something else. They had pretty much a brawl for the whole match, even starting with Jericho power bombing Naito through a table, from Naito DDTing Jericho, trying to put him through a table.
Right.
Result was so surprising as well.
Shock.
The fact that Jericho is going to be sticking around too is going to be really good as
Absolutely.
well. Like the result, like the match, 4 Mars bars.
Okay, before we get to the main event, how many Mars bars are you allowed to give?
I will never break my scale.
Okay.
So
5 on the limits.
5 Mars bars.
Okay, so it's...
I will never go over 5 Mars bars.
Okay, great. Well, on that note, I think it's academic for this next match.
You can add in different things, and I'll tell you how.
Okay.
I'll tell you.
Okay,
how.
that's exactly what I want to ask.
5 regular Mars bars. You will never be able to be 5 regular Mars bars.
Well, on that, then the main event, Kazuchika Okada and Kenny Omega. I
5
heavyweight title.
regular Mars bars.
2 achieve falls, no time limits. 5 regular Mars bars.
5 regular Mars bars.
It's not even a question.
I don't think I need to say it. I said everything in my description. It was the perfect match.
100%.
Perfect booking. Perfect build-up. Perfect video package beforehand. Perfect ending. It broke me at the end because it was that damn emotional. That's how you know it worked, because people were that invested. And it was also reported at the venue itself that people were crying in it too.
Of course.
Because that is how you book a rivalry. 5 Mars bars. The top of the scale. Can't beat that. If I could throw anything else into it, you know what I throw into it?
What?
A Mars Delight.
So 5 Mars bars and a Mars Delight.
And a Mars Delight. Because Mars Delights are so damn delightfully delicious that they need to be brought back.
I'm hungry right now.
Just like long-term booking needs to be brought back.
To WWE. Or
to wrestling in general.
In general, okay.
To wrestling in general.
Okay, cool. I'm hungry now after all that Mars bar talk.
Play me out with my steak.
Oh, for God's sake. Do we need to play this again?
Please. Forget those Meltzer stars.
Meltzer stars.
You want Daragh Maher's bars?
Mars bars.
F*** Uncle Dave.
How can you drink while you're listening to this?
It's all about Daragh Maher's bars.
Mars bars. You're gonna end up choking yourself.
It's definitely growing on me. Definitely gonna grow on me.
Oh God, it's gonna be interesting how we review everything in the future now with that in the background.